Nigeria's population growth is an eye-catching demographic trend that both promises and threatens the country's future. The rising population might be considered as a tremendous asset as the world's sixth most populous nation. This demographic shift suggests a large and young labor force, which could be a boon to economic development. Furthermore, it indicates a developing local market for goods and services, which may attract foreign investment and corporate enterprises looking to capitalize on this growing consumer base. So, in today's video, let's take a look into this African superpower. Before going further, to understand Nigeria's current economic situation, first we must understand the Nigerian social dynamics of North and South region, which have huge difference in quality of living. The northern region, which has a dry climate, relies primarily on agriculture, especially subsistence farming and animal herding. Although staple crops such as millet, sorghum, and cowpeas are grown, agricultural productivity is often lower due to climate constraints. The north has also historically had higher poverty rates, as well as less access to education and healthcare facilities. Economic diversification and job prospects have been hampered by slow industrialization and limited infrastructure development. In contrast, the southern region has a more diverse economy due to a more favorable environment and numerous natural resources. The oil-rich Niger Delta region contributes significantly to the national economy, generating funds for infrastructure development and economic growth. Economic activity is driven by major commercial hubs such as Lagos, and the south has a robust trade, commerce, and industrial sector. Entrepreneurship is widespread, with numerous successful enterprises and startups sprouting up. As a result, the north has a lower standard of living than the south. So, how did Nigeria get here? To find out, we need to delve further into the country's past. Nigeria's historical tapestry is rich and intricate, with threads of pre-colonial kingdoms, the perilous transatlantic slave trade, and the overpowering effect of European colonialism woven throughout. This complex past has left a lasting imprint on the country, influencing its many cultures, ethnicities, and governance issues. Nigeria was a patchwork of great pre-colonial kingdoms and civilizations, each with its own culture, traditions, and political institutions long before European colonial powers arrived. Magnificent empires such as the Oyo and Benin kingdoms flourished in the lush southern areas, leaving a legacy of beautiful artwork and historical artifacts that bore testament to their grandeur. Meanwhile, in the arid northern regions, the Hausa and Fulani peoples led pastoral lives and played important roles in trans-Saharan trade networks. With their intricate social hierarchies and economic systems, these pre-colonial communities formed the cornerstone of Nigeria's history narrative. The emergence of European powers, however, would irrevocably alter this scene. Nigeria became a crossroads for the transatlantic slave trade, with traders from several Nigerian kingdoms taking part in the perilous trading of human lives. This tragic period in history not only caused enormous pain to many Africans, but it also left a significant cultural and demographic legacy that continues to affect Nigeria and its diaspora today. The colonial-era borders drawn on the map of Africa by European powers arbitrarily united different ethnic and cultural groupings into a single entity, Nigeria. This forced amalgamation brought together people who spoke different languages, had different traditions, and had different identities. The consequences of this colonial heritage will appear later as difficulties in nation-building and governance.
In the heart of Nigeria's Sambisa forest, the 0 hour has arrived, bringing a final offensive that could decide the fate of Boko Haram and ultimately its dream to establish its own state. The final push to remove Boko Haram from its last strongholds in the forest.
The country went through periods of civilian governance and military juntas, both of which contributed to its complex political terrain. It has proven difficult to achieve a stable and equitable allocation of power among the country's diverse regions and ethnic groupings. Nigeria's variety, with over 250 ethnic groups and a wide range of religious connections, frequently leads to complicated political talks. The attempt to maintain this delicate balance while dealing with past tensions and conflicts exemplifies Nigerian politics' intricacies. These problems, however, demonstrate the country's dedication to democratic principles and the need for a more inclusive and representative governance structure. While the country benefits from tremendous oil revenue, a sizable percentage of its population remains impoverished.
To Nigeria now and a slum community in Lagos. Its residents mostly make a living from fishing, but the younger generation could change that. Many of the children are on a quest to be educated and hopefully transform their families' fortunes. DW's Fred Muvunyi reports from the school trying to keep their dreams afloat.
Inequitable wealth and resource distribution, combined with governance challenges, has resulted in inequities in access to education, healthcare, and opportunity. Addressing these economic inequities is not just an issue of social justice, but also of guaranteeing the country's long-term development and social cohesion. Nigeria's economic potential will be realized only when these gaps are successfully addressed, providing for more equitable access to the country's resources and opportunities. Nigeria's global importance is growing, notably inside the African continent. Nigeria, Africa's most populous country with a developing middle class, holds tremendous economic weight and is a crucial role in regional affairs. Nigeria's thriving film industry, Nollywood, and booming economy have boosted the country's soft power, increasing its reputation and reach. While more than economic strength is required to achieve global superpower status, Nigeria's expanding influence on the African continent puts it as a key participant in shaping regional and global dynamics. Nigeria's global influence is poised to grow as it addresses domestic difficulties, potentially contributing to a more peaceful and affluent African continent. To summarize, Nigeria possesses the critical factors for future success: a huge and young population, enormous resources, and cultural impact. Unlocking these potential mandates, however, presents internal problems like as governance, economic diversification, and ethnic diversity. As a result, Nigeria has the potential to become an important global player, fostering regional stability and international collaboration while improving the well-being of its population. With that, let's end the video. This is Visionomics. Signing out.